Howdy.
Howdy.
Good morning, everybody. Please join us with a pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Ooh, that was pretty good. We got a little woo in there and a little clap and a little excitement. What are we so excited about, y'all? That doesn't excite. Being cold does not excite me even a little bit. What is happening? Oh, no. No. Wow. I didn't know there were so many sinners in this room. That's crazy to me. All right. Well, we now know that we Ags have to evangelize, get them over to the good side, even though we're not playing any more football this season. So there's that. Well, hey, good morning to everybody. Do we have any new folks here this morning? We no, liar. All these liars. And oh, it's Dominique. Hello. Hey, we're so glad that you guys are with us this morning then. So you guys came for a good day. Do y'all know what's happening today? It's the best day of the month. It's not the Cotton Bowl. It just happens to be some kind of weird playoff, but this is not the Cotton Bowl. So, all right, with that said, we were going to hear from Dawn Candy here in just a little bit. And I think that's an awesome thing. So we're going to hear what she's doing with Hands of Justice. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to say. I'm sad she has to say it. Let me say it that way. But before we do all that, I want to say good morning. As we always do, we want to make sure we recognize the good folks. Oh, and it's Ross. We'll recognize the good folks in the room, such as the leadership team. Read the leadership team, please raise your hand. Woo! We also say good morning to our technology scene. Good morning, tech team. They're much more popular than the leadership team, apparently. We want to hear and say good morning to our wonderful check-in team. Good morning, check-in team. And of course, Andrew for getting breakfast for us this morning yet again. What a trooper. So, and good morning to our Zoomers. How many we got online? I think 75 registered. No, nobody registered. We got 3 or 4 of you up there. Oh, Rich Marsh, you love me. That was so sweet. If you couldn't see it from way back there in the back, he had little hearts going up, and it was very sweet, and I felt loved in the moment. So we've got 5 of you online. We're so glad you guys are with us. So we're going to check in with y'all here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to get with the dude who's talking right now, not paying attention, Ray Rogers. I rushed it just to get to you because you were talking. It was really funny. It made me laugh. I don't care about anybody else.
I was talking to him about his boots. Yeah. JR. Shh. All right. So that's what I have to tell my kid all the time. Yeah, I want that too. Yep. All right. So we are here for 5 reasons. Our first reason is our first reason is our business owners. Where are you at? All right. Our second is our sign lady. Our signless lady. Yeah, sorry. Our third is going to be anybody in transition. No, okay. Our fourth knows why they're here. They say breakfast every time. Our fifth is giving back. We have a number of ways that we've given back, including a platform like we are giving today, which we're very proud of. And lastly, for our vision is to positively impact business professionals and our community through the development of quality relationships, the passion of the 12th man, and the inspiration too.
Good morning. Glad to see everybody out here. It's a good day, isn't it? We've been around for 8 years. This is a really good opportunity for business networking. Also, a lot of personal friendships have been made in this room. This coming summer will be our 9th birthday, and there will be vitamin C, which is cake. So we're also the only networking I know that employs the use of a squeaky toy. So who's got the squeaky toy today? Oh, hell. We got to find it. Got to find it. All right. Anyway, glad y'all came out, and happy Friday.
So y'all know vitamin C is cake. Vitamin B is what? Vitamin B is what beer could wear. I was going bourbon. All right. So, all right. I was just vitamin O. That's correct. So, all right. Let's see. I didn't look, and my apologies because I was running around. I didn't look to see if we had any name tags. Anybody think they earned a name tag this week? Good. No raised hands. All right. We're not going to deal with it then. Especially since we have no new folks here. We're going to just go straight into our commercials then, because we want to leave as much time as possible. I want Dawn speaking till she's like hoarse, like she can't speak anymore because she's gave us all the information there is to have. What? Are we married? Because that felt like something my wife would say to me. All right. We are doing drop and goes. That's exactly correct. So now the reason why we do drop and goes instead of just skipping commercials is, look, we got people sitting across the room. We got a fairly good group here. You don't necessarily remember who all's in the room. So if you have a commercial, remember, drop and go is just to let everybody know who's in the room. And hey, connect afterwards too, especially if you haven't seen somebody in a while. So with that, we are going to go ahead and start with our drop and goes. I think we all know how to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway, just as an example. Remember, it is your name, your business name, and your area, your expertise. So, for example, it's Adam Cook, Cook Insurance Group, commercial insurance. Thank you, Mo. You're such a child. All right, Adam Cook, Cook Insurance Group, commercial insurance. That's how we do it. We're going to get started online so they can show us how to do this. I bet you Matthew Barsley can do it. Matthew, kick us off.
Matthew Bodgley, IT eDiscovery at KBR.
Very good. See, that's how you do it. Rich Marsh.
Rich Marsh, Between Jobs Ministries. If you're in transition, we should probably talk.
Fantastic. Ronald Lambert.
Ronald Lambert, Hardware IT Program Manager, Hewlett Packard.
And one of the Stephen Shoemakers.
The one that's you're muted, Stephen.
On. Is it? Are we both on? Just me?
You.
Oh yeah, he texted me, so I thought he was online. So hey, this is Stephen Shoemaker, Redemption Roofing, home of
Better Roof System.
Amen.
All right, Edgar Almanza, you're last.
Edgar Almanza, a professional in oil and gas, business development for SGS Redback. Edgar Almanza.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Good job, everybody. So we're going to go in person now. Bob, where are we going?
Ross Silva, owner of Minuteman Press, commercial printing.
Alan Cunningham, the home inspections company and living benefits advocate.
Ray Rogers, help my clients get to and stay in group number 4.
Howdy, Ags. J.R. Ramirez here with Ramirez Inspection Services, Home Inspections.
Die with Juice Plus.
Leslie Williams with Senior Care Scout, Senior Living Placement.
What time is it, people? Shine Time, Clean Sweep, office cleaning, and now Trinity Steam Cleaning. Thanks a lot. Have a great week.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Sander with Pro Action Careers, recruiting and search firm for your new employees.
Vicki LeBeau with TLD Nutrition and Wellness. Lisa Deggs, and I volunteer with Don Candy with Hands of Justice.
I'm Jeff Daggs. I'm definitely the bigger half, and I'm with Schoolie Mitchell, and I don't make a nickel if I don't save you a dime.
Stephen Shoemaker 2.0, compassionate insurance, health insurance, and Medicare expert.
Tommy Hunter 1.0.
I like it. Todd Payne, Alpha Process Sales, oil and gas process equipment.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Applegate, representing our family company, Impact Fleet.
Donna Hunter reminding you to put your card in the bucket.
Kitty Mike Sale, Hippo Custom Imprinting, custom decorated apparel, and so much more.
Angela Schimmels, Ministry 60, Signs and Graphics. Have a great week.
Good morning, Reveille. I'm Kathy Bruce from Always Best Care Senior Services, where we want to keep those seniors healthy, happy, and at home wherever that home might be.
Good morning, Michelle Whitaker, your mortgage resource, SWBC Mortgage.
Howdy, John Stacy, business coach and advisor.
Dominique Benson, your favorite Mary Kay lady.
Patty Roland Hurst, the Aggie spirit, staying positive in a negative world.
Mike Wells, retired.
Jim Ball, Dream Vacations, cruises and vacations around the world.
Jeff Kirkhoff, IT Service Delivery Manager for Equinor.
Scott Hoffman, retired and moved to the correct table.
Phil Powers, retired probation officer. Go Bucks.
John Miller, I'm just tired.
Not retired.
Howdy. Rainbow Class 78, half camo travel. If you want to be shot, I do good. Bye.
Frank Fuss Life Coaching. I take my clients from Eeyore to Thor, from good to great, and from frustration to celebration.
David McGuffin, Space City Payments. Can be tapped, dipped, or swiped. I got a solution for you.
Mo Heinlein with So Good, So God Ministries, Biblical Heart Deliverance for Women.
Bruce Keene, Southern Cross Communications. Wow.
Bob Jacinto, Legacy Partners, Insurance and Tax-Free Retirement Solutions.
All right, we get everybody in the room. All right, on the time or on the clock, what is the time? 7:40. All right, good. So we're going to do one quick thing that I said we weren't going to do, but that's only because I hadn't gone through the box yet. We actually have some name tags that need to be given out. And I think especially true since we've got a couple of folks that don't show up all the time that might want to get theirs while they're here. So the first person I'm going to call up is our number 50. As y'all know, we've got 12, 25, 50, 75, 100, 150, and 200, 250. All right, so we've got two 50s. We're going to bring up Mr. Phil Powers. Where did he go? Oh, I thought maybe you went to the can. No, you're over there. So Phil Powers and then Dominique Benson. Woo! Y'all come on up. So we are, you talk about a difference in, I don't want to say different in personality. Your dad jokes aren't near as bad as his. So, and I always love it when you come to visit with us. She's been showing up off and on for many, many, many years. It took her a lot of years to get to this 50. And I'm grateful you're here when you show up. I am. It always blesses my heart you're with us. Thank you so much. Always one of the prettiest smiles in the room, except for mine. Okay. That people disagree with that. So, and then Mr. Phil Powers, man, what can we say about this guy? But like, sometimes you just need to put the mic down. So, no, dude, I'm glad you entertain us. It's an absolute blast. I'm so glad that you guys are both with us. And it is an honor y'all been with us for 50 times. So, with that, awesome. Thank y'all. All right. Number for his 75th appearance, probably more than that. It sure feels like more than that. Mike Mogel, come on up. I'm fairly certain you've been here more than 75 because it feels like it. But well, I'm only counting this many. But Mike's been showing up for a long time with us as well. He's a good dude. I don't care what other of y'all are saying about him. You never know what he's going to say about swinging or anything like that when he shows up, which we appreciate. But swinging golf clubs for y'all that don't know. So. But Mike again is a good dude. So glad you're with us, man. Very supportive, and couldn't have done it without you, man.
Solid. All right. Glad to be here.
Was your first time?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Is that all we got?
That's all we got, man.
You want some more?
No. Now,
All right, people, have a great day.
I've got one more. It's 150. And this one actually makes me really sad because it's the end of an era of a guy I've been able to mispronounce just because his name is printed incorrectly on his current one. So no longer do we have J.R. Ramirez. We actually have J.R. Ramirez. I was really disappointed. It is spelled correctly, right? Did they do it right?
You can always call me Ramirez.
I will. Always.
I appreciate you, brother.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a good sport. And thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. All right. That's all I had in the bucket. If we missed somebody or you think you've been missed, please come up to me after the meeting. Let me know. We'll do a little research, make sure that you're if you haven't got your next name tag, that you get it. But we are trying to stay on top of it. We're doing a better job of it now. So with that, and some of that's thanks to Michelle Whitaker, though, you know. So she's pretty important. All right, with that, Angela.
No, I'm not speaking. For the first time ever, I'm not going to bother reading a bio because I don't feel like I need to for Dawn. Everybody knows her. She is an amazing person. She's probably one of the nicest and most selfless people I think I know and have known for more than a decade, I believe. Obviously, you guys know she is the I promote you lady, but most importantly, in my opinion, she has a very personal connection and is now the recent executive director since October of Hands of Justice. And so we're just going to let Dawn talk.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Thank y'all for being here today. So I am excited to share with you all what's going on with Hands of Justice. My transition started with them in August of last year, and officially I took over October the 28th. The organization started in 2017 by our founder, Rebecca Carey, who is a survivor of trafficking, and realized that there was no resource for someone like her who had been trafficked, but when she got out of it, she got a job, she had a relationship, got married. She was trying to do life on her own and then realized what had happened to her. And so she started this nonprofit to be able to serve survivors in that way. So I want to share our mission statement because it's very succinct in what we do. Sorry, can I go back? There we go. So we provide survivor advocacy and support economic empowerment, and community awareness for human trafficking. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of history of what human trafficking is, if you don't know, you encounter it probably every day and don't even realize it. It is a crime hidden in plain sight, but it is a crime, and you have to prove force, fraud, or coercion for the victim in order to prosecute. And I give you a little bit of definition in this PowerPoint of what each one of those things mean. Obviously, force being physically abused, okay? Fraud meaning false promises. It could be for a job, it could be for a relationship, anything like that. Coercion is the intimidation tactic and the emotional abuse that they encounter. I have a lot of statistics here. I'm not going to read all of them. I was at an event last night with Reveille, who's an organization that creates awareness as well, and they are one of our funders. Their statistics that they were giving us that was really startling to me is the average age of girls who are exposed is 12 to 14 years old. For boys, it's 8 years old. So a lot of people don't think about boys being victims, but they are. You don't hear about males as often because they're prideful and because they don't want to speak out about it. Boys get abused just as often. They just don't share about it. The industry itself is $150 billion. It is the number two crime. And it is number two only to drugs, which it will surpass because you can sell a person more than you can sell that drug, right? You sell it one time, the person takes it. You can sell that person over and over and over again. 2 out of 3 victims never see a resource. And 0.1% of the traffickers are ever prosecuted. 0.1%. Can you imagine that? It's primarily because the victims don't speak out, they don't prosecute, they're afraid. People don't understand why they're afraid because they've been threatened. They have a trauma bond often with their trafficker, so they do not prosecute them. So who's the most vulnerable? Truly anybody. But as you see on this slide, it is anyone with a vulnerability. So it could be a minority population, it could be someone with physical disabilities. That is actually on the rise. Those numbers have been going up quite a bit lately that we have seen. So I want to draw your attention to that. But also kids that are in foster care, homeless, people with drug addictions, with mental health issues, but also people who are just kids that are just dealing in a household who maybe the parents are getting a divorce. The parents are fighting constantly. That's a vulnerable child because oftentimes kids will take that responsibility on, saying it's their fault that their parents aren't getting along. That's a vulnerability. So anyone can be a victim of trafficking. Recruiting tactics. So a recruiter is an individual who attracts someone to trafficking. And it can look like any of these things. And a lot of people are like, what is a guerrilla pimp? That is a gang member. And that is very prevalent, especially in the greater Houston area. Romeo pimps are also a piece of that, but that is the person that poses to be a boyfriend or a love interest to someone. It could be family, and that's shocking to a lot of people, but family members do traffic other family members. Also, the fake career we talked about, it could be a promise of employment. Maybe it's a beautiful girl or a handsome man, and they're saying, you could make a living as a model. I'm a photographer. Come in for a photo shoot and that kind of thing. So that's what that means. All right, where's my? That's okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. So who could be a trafficker? Look around the room because traffickers look like we do. Because I mentioned family members, right? Moms, dads, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, grandparents. We see it all. It could be anyone. The internet is the #1 way that victims are recruited and sold. And I have the social media icons up here because primarily it is through social media. There's still a high percentage of victims that are recruited through Facebook, but we know our kids aren't on Facebook right now. They're on TikTok, they're on Snapchat, they're on other social media outlets, but social media is the way that they lure them. And I'm going to go through some grooming tactics with you just so you can kind of understand what that looks like as well. Backpage.com, I don't know if any of you have heard of that. That is the website where you can actually purchase a person for sale. So they were shut down here in the US a few years ago. It did not slow them down. They just moved overseas. So it is still a live website. I also want you to understand, and this is a really delicate topic because most people don't think anything about pornography, but men think it's a harmless, thing. That 1 in 6 women struggle with pornography. I thought that was a pretty staggering statistic. So as adults, as humans, this is a real issue. But think about the person that is performing on that video that you're watching or in those pictures that you're looking at. Oftentimes, they have been trafficked or tricked into doing those things. So they are victims. So internet safety grooming process, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. It can happen within 10 minutes. It could take a year to 2 years. It just kind of depends on the person. It depends on the trafficker, what they're trying to do, how many they're juggling. So they send a friend request, and they send a lot of them to random people. I've heard a recruiter say, what we do is we scour the internet, and we are looking for those selfies of images from the chest up. Why? That is a key of vulnerability because I have a body issue if I'm not showing you my whole body. It means I'm not comfortable with something going on here. So that's a vulnerability. So what they do once they get that friend request and you accept that friend request, then they start chatting with you because they've already looked at your social media and they know about your dog and they know about your friends and they know about where you like to hang out and the things that you like to do. So they start this conversation with you and you're chatting with them over social media. It's a friendship, right? They're creating that friendship. So they're getting more and more information. But then they start controlling you because they say, hey, can you be back online with me at 5 o'clock because I want to talk to you about such and such. This is especially important if you have people who play video games and they're in a chat room. If you have a child, a grandchild, anyone in your family that is playing video games, know who they're chatting with, know who they're playing with. Recognize the sign that if you tell them, hey, it's dinner time at 5 o'clock, and they start freaking out and say, hey, I can't have dinner right now. I'm supposed to meet my friend to play a game. They're being controlled by somebody. It doesn't matter if they get on the game at 5:15 or 5:30, typically, does it? Because they could tell their friend, I can't do that. That person is threatening them in some way, shape, or form to be on that game at 5 o'clock. So pay attention. They become isolated. Our victims become isolated. That trafficker pulls them away from other friends, that they start talking about their family, telling them how things could be better if they were with them. They start asking for favors, which could be inappropriate pictures. It could be anything. And then they ask to meet in person. That's how it happens. And it can happen so quickly. It just depends. So know the signs. We're talking about a lot of things. There's a change in behavior. There's a change in dress. There's a change in attitude. With my story, my granddaughter was a teenager. She was acting out. I started telling my friends and they said, she's being a typical teenager. She's just getting adjusted to your house. She just moved into your house. She'll be fine. She wasn't fine. So I always tell parents and families, trust your gut. You know your family member. You know them. You know what they're like. You know their heart. If they change and they isolate, they stop going to school or they stop hanging out with the friends that they did, or they stopped going to, maybe they're in drama and they stop doing those types of activities, those are signs. Unexplained gifts. So my daughter showed up with, my granddaughter showed up with 3 cell phones because we kept taking her cell phone away. She kept, iPhones. And she said, oh, well, my friend gave it to me because they got a new one. No, that's not true. So there are resources, and I'm happy to share these with anybody, or if you want to take a picture. If you see something, I don't encourage you to get involved in it. I encourage you to reach out to law enforcement and report it. That's the best thing that you can do, because law enforcement agencies tell you, I'd much rather you report it and be wrong than not report it and be right. So if you see something suspicious, please report it. So what we do at Hands of Justice, and I'm not sure where my time is, but I'm trying to talk a little quick here. As I mentioned, survivor advocacy and support, economic empowerment and awareness. So how do we do that? I want to talk about the economic empowerment part because a lot of people don't understand this because they think that, okay, so you have been forced into prostitution. You made a lot of money per client. So you must have a lot of money. Well, no, that money goes to the trafficker. You don't see that money. And the way they keep you there is they starve you or beat you. You are lucky if you get a reward for doing well and meeting your quota that day. So you don't have a sense of managing money, how to support yourself. A lot of our survivors that we work with don't have specific job skills when they come out. And so economic empowerment is huge. The first thing that we try to do with them on the economic empowerment side is give them scholarships for education, whether that's a GED that they need to get, if they want to go to college or a trade school, that's what we help with. We give scholarships for those things. So this helps them to avoid a relapse because we are preparing them for life in a legitimate work environment to support themselves and become independent and to be involved in their community. Some of the challenges that they face when they do come out, they have criminal records. They've been arrested for prostitution. Sometimes they have felonies on their record, so they can't get gainful employment with a good company. So we work with Workforce Solutions with they have second chance employers who will provide employment for people with backgrounds that are being worked on, right? It could be a lack of housing, which we partner with other organizations in our community that have residential facilities that will take these survivors in and work the program for 18 months to 2 years a lot of times to help them get on their feet. It gives them time for healing, which is the biggest part. But on the economic empowerment side, you can see that if they don't have a safe place like that and they're trying to do life on their own, which many of our clients are, they have to be able to maintain a place to live, a safe place to live, so they can focus on that healing. So on the survivor support side, we advocate for them, whether that looks like the criminal justice system, because maybe they do want to pursue prosecuting their trafficker. Maybe they're trying to expunge their background in a case that they have. So we partner with the Joseph Project who will do that. And so we have advocates that will go to court with them, walk alongside them. But it's not just the criminal justice side, it's also the medical side. There are so many areas that our survivors feel triggered in and unsafe in. The term that they use is they don't have felt safety. It doesn't matter if they know logically they're safe in this place. If they don't have felt safety, it doesn't matter. So our advocates walk alongside them and help them with whatever that looks like. If it's medical, if it's criminal, if it's even an auto repair, that can be triggering to them. We have online support groups that are survivor-led, and the beautiful thing about the online is now we have clients across the country. Even though we're based right here in the Woodlands area, we have clients across the country because they can Zoom in with us in those support groups. It is survivor-led. It's a safe community. It is a community of people they don't have to explain themselves to as to why they're having a bad day today or how someone looked or a smell or something triggered them and caused them to go into a tailspin. We also have mentoring and coaching that we are starting this year. So if you are interested in being a mentor, we'd love for you to sign up and help us with that as well, because we're going to do a game night to partner our mentors with our survivors so that you guys can be focused on something other than the survivor and the issue, having a good time, getting to mesh and bond over competitive game. So the other thing is we also provide trauma-informed therapy, and we help pay for that as well. And that is a huge piece of it because healing is a lifelong journey. It's not a linear process. Again, the economic empowerment I mentioned already, this survivor scholarships, our career readiness that we do through Workforce Solutions. This year, we're going to start a vehicle maintenance and repair fund because as you guys know, I mean, sometimes times get tough. You're busy making ends meet. And if you have a flat tire, if you have an auto issue, those repairs can be very expensive. And for somebody who's barely making ends meet, it can be devastating. If they can't get back and forth to work, what happens? That's a vulnerability. They lose their job. And then what happens? As a survivor, you think, oh, well, I could go back to the life and just get enough money to fix my car. We don't want that. We want to avoid that. We want to help them avoid that. So the vehicle maintenance and repair fund is going to start this year so that we can help them with that as well. And then a medical care expense fund as well. We want to do that because, again, health issues, that's a huge issue. It affects your job. It affects how you handle life. And so we don't want that to cause them to have a relapse as well. The awareness side, so we have what we call freedom bags, and those bags are drawstring backpacks. They have hygiene products. They have notes of encouragement from people in them. They have resources inside them. We have those bags that are put together for Hands of Justice, and then we give those to what we call boots on the ground. There are some nonprofits in our community that actually go out to strip clubs, go out to brothels, they go out to Bissonnette and the other tracks where traffickers are or trafficking victims are, and they give them those bags to let them know that there is somebody that cares about them and there is hope and there are resources when they're ready. So that is one way that you can help get involved. Also, we love to public speak. We love to get out and spread the awareness and let people know what this looks like and how you can help, and the fact that it can and it does happen in your own backyard. So just creating that awareness. So if you're part of a larger company, you're part of a different group, if you are part of a church and would like to have us come out and speak, we would love to do that. The other piece of it is Trafficking 101. We do a training and an education. That 101 is much more in depth on the statistics and how things happen. And we also do trauma-informed presentations as well, so that you know using the word prostitution is triggering to a survivor. So if you're working with somebody that is a trafficking victim, do not use that word. There are certain things we know we can't walk on eggshells around them because we know that we need to get them integrated back into the world and around people who have not been trafficked and don't have the experience. But there are triggers. It could be a smell. It could be a situation. It could be a look on somebody's face. You don't know. But we want to help encourage you and educate you on how to handle these kind of situations. Volunteer opportunities, we have a ton of them. You could, if you're interested in being a board member, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk with you about that. We have an advisory council as well who helps us with coordinating some of our events that are going on. They also will represent us at different events. Our mentoring that I mentioned to you before. We have community ambassadors, very similar to what Lisa Daggs is doing for us. She's joined a networking group to represent Hands of Justice. We need those kind of things. And so if you're interested in representing us and getting to know us more so you can share the message, we would greatly appreciate that. Social media, we're on social media. We've got somebody who is posting for us now. Please comment, like, share as much as you can, especially this month. It's National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. That's why I asked to speak. Blue is the color of human trafficking awareness. Tomorrow is actually the day. So they have a day and a month. So it's Human Trafficking Awareness Day. So tomorrow, if you wear blue, do a selfie, post it, hashtag. Please include us, tag us, and let us know that you're supporting us, because the more messages we can get out, the better it is for everyone's awareness. And then community partnerships. If you're part of a business that would love to partner with us, whether that is, I'm looking for auto repair right now, who would partner with us on maybe donating some oil changes for our survivors. We've been looking at physicians' offices who will partner with us, become trauma informed, and help our survivors as well. Whatever it happens to be, whatever your business could provide as far as a service, we'd love to talk to you about those types of partnerships. And then, of course, donation. If you want to just be a donor, we would love that as well. Oops. So the last thing, I have QR codes here. One, if you would like to volunteer, that's got the white background. That's going to shoot me an email and let me know that. Two, if you'd like to donate, that's the blue. I'd love for you to become a donor for us. Just get more involved with us. Come in and attend our events. We need that kind of support, but I'll open it up to questions if you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask. Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me give you the mic.
So Dawn, in your presentation, which was very good, thank you. You said if you see something, say something, but what do we look for?
So there's a couple different things that are kind of obvious. Number one, if you see someone that's being controlled. And what I mean by that is if you see two people and you're interacting, let's say it's a male and a female, but you're interacting with the female and she's not answering your questions and she's not making eye contact and he's answering everything, or the female with her is answering everything. That is an indication right there. If you see someone who's got a tattoo here, on the wrist, on the back of the neck, could be on the shoulder, a name, could be a crown, could be a barcode, those are indications. You're going to start paying attention to tattoos, aren't you? Yeah. Those are indications. So the lack of eye contact is something that they learn very early as a victim. The trafficker tells them, do not make eye contact with anyone, because there is a language with traffickers, or a rule that if the person you're trafficking makes eye contact with another trafficker, they are now the new owner of that victim. So now your trafficker has to buy you back. And if that happens, what do you think happens to you? They beat you. Yeah, they're going to hurt you. Yeah. They also don't have access to their personal identification. I will tell you, in my granddaughter's story, I think 3 times she asked me to order her a new Social Security card. Yeah. No ID. They typically don't have any ID. It's not on. Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so Roland asked, when they finally do get out, is it because they decide to get out, or is it because somebody rescues or recovers them? A lot of times it is rescue and recovery. However, because the trauma bond is so strong, a lot of times when they are rescued or recovered, unless they are brought into a program immediately and they are accepting of that, they will go back because there is a trauma bond. Typically, it is the planting of the seeds by so many that are reaching out, those boots on the grounds, those freedom bags, those people who are going out and ministering to them, planting those seeds, that they get to a point where they know, I can get out. I can reach out to one of these resources. I often share that I believe that it is very similar to someone who's addicted to drugs or alcohol. You can't help that person until they're ready to be helped. They won't change until they're ready for the change, right? So, great question. They've got to have the support, though, the community support. Angela?
Mine's more of a comment, I guess. For people who don't realize this, we recently got a renewal for commercial insurance, and in it was an exclusion for human trafficking, which my husband thought was very odd until I started talking to him about Hands of Justice and things that are going on in Houston, and he was just appalled that that happens in this area.
Yeah.
So it does obviously happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is a comment also. As a felony probation officer, 70% of my caseload were sex offenders.
Mm.
And one thing that she talked about was survivors. And the one thing she didn't talk about were the young people that do not survive. A lot of these, and some young adult women are exported or smuggled into foreign countries and used in what's called snuff movies, snuff films. Does anybody know what those are?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they are sexually assaulted during the movie and killed, and that's part of the movie. A lot of these young kids are kidnapped and sent to foreign countries. First of all, often to South America, then on to Iran, Iraq, places of that nature, and involved in snuff movies. And it occurs here in the United States. There's one case where I used to get graphic in my presentations, but I'll be careful today, where a guy was coming from France and contacted someone in LA to get him a young boy to be used for sexual assault. And in his explanation, he kept saying, he must die after being sexually assaulted. Well, of course, he was taken into custody at LAX and prosecuted for that. But a lot of these people do not survive. And so just my comment. And the other thing, when I said 70% of my caseload were sex offenders, the alarming part, the majority of them, grandparents.
Leslie? Run, Bob, run.
So are there programs, or do you offer something that we can educate our youth? And what age group can you go in and talk to kids about things to watch out for to protect themselves? Do you have those opportunities?
So Hands of Justice does not, because we deal primarily with adults. However, we do partner with other organizations in the community that are allowed to go into the schools. It's really hard to get into schools to talk with younger kids. But so what we're trying to do is educate parents, grandparents, family members, the community at large. But we do partner with those other organizations, like Look Up Nonprofit is one of them, because they do discuss how grooming happens over social media and the internet. And we want to make sure that the language is accurate and current. And so we partner with them for those things. Right. Yes. Yeah, I agree, Leslie.
And I just wanted to make a comment as well. I got involved with Hands of Justice because of Dawn and Julie Peters in my BNI. And I went to the Human Trafficking 101 class. And it's one of the most difficult things I have ever been through. But everyone needs to hear that. If you get the chance, go to that Human Trafficking 101 class, learn what's going on, more details than what you got here. And I know it's tough here, what you're hearing, but it's worse there. And you hear from the overcomers, the people that have been through this, and it's tough. But everybody in this nation needs to hear that, especially in the Houston area where we're going through so much of this, where the leader on Bissonnette Street is the most trafficked area in the nation. And it's just not right. This should not be happening in Texas, should not be happening in Houston, should not be happening in the US, but definitely not in Texas. So just want to make that comment. If you get the chance, go to that class. You will understand a lot more about it and get what's going on. So thank you.
Bissonnette has a global reputation. People come from all over the world to purchase sex on Bissonnette. Yeah. Anybody else?
I got one question. What is the relapse rate, if you know, of people that have come out and then come back into?
You know, Mike, it's a good question. I don't know the rate of relapse. I'm not sure what that number is. I don't know. I do know that the reason it happens is because of the lack of support. And that, I'm not just talking about organizations, but community support. There's a lack of funding for programs like we have. And so we can only do what we can do with the funds that we collect. We don't, the way that we raise money is through our fundraisers, through donations. We have churches that support us and things like that. But we need more because we've got, I believe we've got 37 ladies right now that are in support groups. We're starting 3 more, one Spanish speaking and then 2 teen groups because there are teen homes here. I don't know if you know that, but safe houses in Montgomery County area. And we're going to be starting a support group for those girls as well. So programs are really important. So even if it's not Hands of Justice that you decide you want to support, please support one of us because what we're doing is working together to stop trafficking and help these survivors. Thank you.
Awesome. Dawn, give her a big round of applause. I know that one of the things we like to do here is we love the encouragement. We love we love to build each other up. We love to have fun. We love to laugh. But I think it's also really important that we kind of get hit with the heavy stuff sometimes. And that's a heavy thing, man. And like I said, when I introduced her, I love Dawn. I love that Dawn is here. And I love her heart in here. I hate that she's standing right here right now. And what I mean by that is I hate that she has to do that. I think it's an absolutely awful thing. And it's not just the kiddos. Everybody focuses on the kiddos. And that's an awful, awful thing. And there needs to be a good focus on the kiddos. But it's not just the kiddos, it's the adults. And Dawn, we appreciate, we love that where you are. We know where your heart comes from. Just because, a few of us know your history, you're not shy about telling what's happened in your own family. That's, I don't know, just a little choked up now, Dawn. So we thank you. We love you. She mentioned one thing also. She mentioned one thing also is that, perhaps Hands of Justice is not the organization that's tugging at your heart right now. We know that, anything to do with kids, anything to do with pets, anything to do with that might be your the charity organization that you focus on. But one of the main reasons I love Reveille is that we can get all kinds of different organizations to come in, and we may not be able to support directly through Reveille, but each one of the organizations that come in and speak to us, but it does give an audience, and this is an audience of 37 people in the room who every one of y'all know at least 37 people. So, and then that just expounds. It's an exponential. So what I would encourage you to do is 2 things real quick, is tell people about what you've heard about. Tell them it was an awful, horrible thing to hear, but there's people in this world that are trying to make a difference like Dawn and like her, and there's a ton of people trying to do the same thing. So I'm going to encourage you, if what she said did mean something to you, consider donating at least some cash, man. It's just money. So what I'm gonna offer up, I know Reveille's not in a position to do that, but I'll match up to $500. If we can raise $500, I'll match another $5 on top of it personally. If we can exceed that, that's great. But I want to do that today. I'm not going to ask who's going to donate, but we'll be able to tell because I've got reaches with the IRS, so I just know. So with that, just let me know that you're going to donate, and then and it doesn't need to be a big public thing, but just let me know, and I'll make sure that we get a match on board with it. So with that, I know there's other awesome things going on in the community that's not going to bring us all down. So what's happening? What are y'all doing? Anything cool happening? No, I said something. Well, technically that will be cold. It will be very cold. So go ahead.
Conroe Symphony Orchestra, February the 8th, Saturday, 2:30. Conroe Methodist Church out on 105. We're doing Copeland Bernstein and Gershwin. It's going to be an awesome concert. Come out and enjoy it. Oh, conrosymphony.org.
Everybody know what day it is, right? Inspired Leaders Day. We have Willie Diefenbach Jones speaking today. Come out and join us at Vibrant Church, 11:30 to 1. Free lunch, great networking, and an inspiring speaker.
All right, so who likes free cocktails? All right, so Saturday, there's a sip and shop, and it's free cocktails at every single table. There's a competition between all of the vendors there on who has the best cocktail. My drink's been fermenting for 3 weeks. So please come and join us. You're gonna be able to spend some money, enjoy help of professionals, and try some free cocktails, all different flavors. This Saturday at Living Holistic. Tomorrow, it's tomorrow. So at Living Holistic, 11 to 3.
I have stuff in my refrigerator that's been fermenting for much longer. What you got?
First is first. You guys know I do care packages, right? Okay, so first is first. And Don, where are you? That was very helpful. Thank you. The people in this group have helped me build care packages. Care packages that, as far as I can tell, really matter. So just be aware of that. Be aware of what Dawn is trying to do. And thank you so much for trying to contribute to what I'm doing, which honestly is trying to help it. It's real simple out there.
So you said, as far as you know, helps people. I'm gonna correct that. Helps people. It's amazing what you do as a one-on-one. And it's not just the person that you're sending it to; it's the people involved and the people around you. So thanks for being who you are and doing what you do and keeping us on going.
I have a fun event to announce. I've been a member of the American Business Women's Association for a very long time. We're a great organization of business women. We're having a fashion show and tea at 1,000 Oaks. It's on February 1st. If you want more information, contact me and we will get you all set up to enjoy a beautiful Saturday morning and early afternoon of fashion and tea.
How many of you like to play dominoes? Okay, we got a dominoes tournament coming up on February the 1st. It's at the Angry Elephant. If you want to sign up for it, they're trying to gather names ahead of time so they can put together the brackets. It's a nominal fee. It's $10. However, if you win, they're going to split the pot with you so you can take home some money. So if you like to play 42, it's a dominoes game. It's kind of like playing spades. Montgomery County Aggie Facebook page, there's an event where you can sign up and there's links to put your name in so that they can gather names and put together the brackets. Y'all come.
Don't forget that we have this live stream live on YouTube. It is there is a recording. You can go share that recording with other people so that others can hear and see what Dawn had to say today.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. With that, we're going to go with our drawing. So what we have here is a fantastic conglomeration of whatever. We have, that's not true. This is awesome stuff. We got a $25 gift card to Academy. We got a $10 gift card to Chicken Fillet. We have a T-Rex scary carabiner. How do you pronounce that? Carabiner? It sounds wrong. Tool, which is actually really cool. And then we've got 2 bottles of wine, both red and white. I've been thusly informed, do not pour red wine over your ice. It's apparently a faux pas. Who knew? From a guy from Southeast Texas, it sounded fine to me, but all right. All right, first winner to pick out of all of those is Lisa Dags. Oh, you're a winner. And just FYI, Lisa, if Jeff had won, you'd still have won. All right. Number 2 is Mo. What a card, Mo. Did you just find something to write on? All right. Number 3 is Jim Ball. Where's Jim? There you are. And number 4 is Always Best Care, Kathy Bruce. Kathy's always a winner. All right. To the rest of us who did not win are also known as losers. We will try again next time. Mercy. It's funny. I don't care who you are. Hey, we're running kind of up against it. I'm so glad that y'all are with us today. I'm so glad that we were able to hear from Dawn. Dawn, thank you so much. If you do want to donate, like I said, donate directly online, kind of whisper in my ear that you did so we can make sure we get a match. And with that, hang on. Yes. Clean up your mess. There's nobody here to clean it up except Michelle. So awesome. Thank y'all. We will see y'all here next week. Hey, bring a friend, please. Bye.
Have a good week. And
thank you, Matthew. You as well.
Set that wrap out there.
See you next week. Stay warm.
see you. Stay warm too.
Somebody found the squeaky toy finally.
Okay, hey, listen, everybody. Wait. Hold on, Stacy. You remember last week when I said there were 2 winners?
Yes.
One was our orange lady. The other one was Mr. Ramirez. Ramirez! Come on up. JR!